Okay, today's lesson is the first lesson in chapter 5, Algebraic expressions. What we're going to do today, we will solve questions like these questions. Let's see the questions. Identify the terms, coefficients, and constants in the expression. And, like this one, write the expression using exponents. And also, evaluate the value of an expression given the value of the variable. Okay, to start, I want you to open your books page. This page is... what page is this?
202.
Thank you, Abdullah. Thank you, Abdulaziz. Thank you, Ahmed. Go ahead, everyone. Open your books, page 202. In this page, we have something written in the top here. Let's read it. An algebraic expression is an expression that may contain numbers like 2, 5, 7, numbers like these numbers, operations, addition, subtraction, plus, minus, times, divide, like this, and one or more variables. So we have a new word here, variable. 202. A variable is a symbol that represents one or more numbers. So for variables, we are using letters or symbols. Each number or variable by itself or product of numbers and variables in an algebraic expression is called a term. So let's go back and see what we have here. We have something called algebraic expression, and we know now that it consists of numbers, operations, and variables. And what is the variable? It's the symbol or the letter that we use, and it represents a number. Like this like this here. This is an expression, 5p plus 4. Here p is the variable. And here we have two numbers, 5 and 4. The 4 here, we call it constant. Constant means that this term is without a variable. So we call it constant. And the 5 here, we have a number with a variable. So it's the numerical factor of the term that contains a variable. And 5p means 5p like this means 5 times p. And we can rewrite it also 5 times p like this. So we have many ways to write it. And in this case, we call the 5 coefficient. So let's see an example for this. And identify the terms, coefficients, and constants in each expression. Letter A, 5x plus 13. So here we have the terms. 5x is a term and 13 is another term. So how many terms? We have two terms in this expression. And now, what is the coefficient? The coefficient is the numerical factor here. So it's 5. We have here 5x. So 5 is the coefficient. And 13 is constant. So now we understand the difference between the coefficient and the constant. The coefficient is with the variable. It's the numerical value, the numerical factor, the numerical number, the number multiplied by the variable. And the variable here is x.
Can I say something?
Yes, Abdullah?
Teacher, when I put 6 and y, it is convection.
Coefficient?
Yeah.
The 6 is coefficient, yes. Any number multiplied by a variable, so we call the number coefficient, not constant.
Variable means the letter.
Yes, the variable is the letter, the symbol. Okay, now let's see the other one. 2z squared plus y equal plus 3. So we have here the terms. We have 3 terms.
Sir, I want to see the number A.
Okay, I'll show you. And the coefficients here are the numbers multiplied by the variables. The coefficient is the numerical factor for the of the term when we have a variable in this term. So we have 2 variables. We have z and we have y. So we have 2 coefficients. Here we have the 2. This is a coefficient. And here we have only y. So what number multiplied by y gives y?
Y, teacher.
When you multiply anything by 1, you get the same number. So when you multiply a variable by 1, you get the same variable also. So the coefficient here is 1. So a variable by itself has a coefficient of 1. So the term in example 1b has the coefficient of 1. This term, y, the coefficient here is 1, and we do not write the 1. We don't need to write 1 times y. We write just y. And now what is the constant? The term?
Abdurrahman was teacher. 3.
Yes. What is the constant again?
3.
3. Excellent, Abdurrahman. So the constant here is 3. Okay, to make sure that you understand this, I need you to solve these questions.
Teacher, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
I don't know, you give me not or no because my connection, I don't know why is it like that.
Okay, if you miss anything, Fahad, focus with me and you will understand now. Okay?
Yeah, teacher, the lesson very, very easy. I understand it.
Great. Okay, so I will write here in 3 lines. I will start with the terms, then coefficients, then constants. Okay. Let's start with the first one. Ahmed? Ahmed?
Yeah.
Okay, in the first one, what is the term? What are the terms?
It's 12 and 10C.
Great, so we have 12 and we have 10C. What is the coefficient?
10.
10. And what is the constant?
12.
12. Thank you, Ahmed. Great work. Omar? Omar Tamim?
Teacher, page what?
202. Omar Tamim? Omar, please use your mic. Okay, Abdullah Shaqaq. Abdullah Shaqaq.
Teacher, I'm Ria. I'll go to bring my book. Okay, if you call my name, I'll do
Okay, Ria.
answer.
Go ahead, Abdullah. What are the terms?
The terms is 11,
15.
12. 15.
And this is one term, and the other term?
3W.
3W. Okay. And we have a third term here, which is
2.
half. Okay. What are the coefficients? Or what is the coefficient here?
15 and 3 W.
The 3 what? The 3 only. We don't have any other coefficients.
3, yes, yes.
Okay, do we have constants? Yes, of course.
No.
What are the... Yes, of course we have.
Yes, yes, plus 3.
Yes, what are the constants? The numbers without variables. The terms in which we don't have variables. So we have 15 and what?
1/2.
Of course. Great work, my hero. Thank you. Okay, let's move to the next question. Abdul Jabbar.
Yes, Mister.
Okay, Abdul Jabbar. Question number 3. What are the terms? Abdul Jabbar, use your mic, please.
Yes, Mister.
Go ahead.
Z2 plus 9Z.
Okay, we call it Z square.
Okay.
And this is the first term. And what is the second term?
9 square.
9Z. Okay. Now, what are the coefficients? We need to understand the factors first.
It will be 2.
What? Just give me a second. What is Z square? What do we mean by Z square? Z square means Z times Z. Z times Z. And what is 9Z? It's 9 times Z. Okay, so we have the variable here, Z. So we have a coefficient here and a coefficient here. What's the coefficient for the first one? It's not written, but it
2.
should be? No.
1.
1. We call the 2 exponent. Okay, the 2 is the power or the exponent. So the coefficient, we have 1 and here in the second term,
9.
the 9. Do we have constants?
No.
No, we don't have any constants. So we don't have constants. So when we don't have a constant, so here we can write there is none, or we don't have a constant. Okay, thank you, my hero. Okay, guys, any problems with these questions? Any problems?
Just 1 minute.
Yes, teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, ask Leah.
I didn't understand the way how to solve it.
You need just to identify the terms. And what are the terms again? The terms?
Z and
The terms
W.
are, yes, Z square and 9Z. Okay, so you understand now the meaning of terms?
Yes.
Okay, do you understand the meaning of variable? The variable is the letter that you have. So we have Z square, this is letter. So we have coefficient near this letter. What number is multiplied by Z square? We don't have a number, so it's 1. And in the second term, we have 9 multiplied by Z, so the coefficient is 9. And we don't have any term without variable, just numerical term. We don't have a constant, so that's why we write here none. Okay, my hero, any problems? Okay.
Teacher, no.
Now let's move to the second example. Any problems? Okay.
No.
Write each. Okay, please listen. Write each expression using exponents. We have here d times d times d times d. Just ask yourself a question. How many times are you multiplying d? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we used d as a factor 4 times. So the exponent is 4. So it's d power 4. So the exponent is 4. Okay, let's see the next question, the next example here. 1.5 times h times h times h. Okay, we have a number. This number is coefficient because it's multiplied by a variable. And how many times times did we multiply the h? We multiplied it 3 times. So the exponent should be 3. Remember, the 3 is the exponent of the h, not 1.5. We have only 1.5 one time. So we write 1.5 times h to the power 3, or 1.5 h cubed. Cubed means power 3. Now let's move back to the book and let's solve these two questions. Amir?
Yes, teacher.
Question number 4. We need to write the expression using exponents. How many j's do we have?
6.
Okay, so we can write this as j raised to the power
6.
6. So the exponent should be 6. Okay, thank you, my hero. Okay, the next question. Abdulaziz Shahab?
Yes.
Question number 5.
First, we have 5k.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the exponent is 5. And what about the 9?
And then
It's coefficient, so we write it first. Then we can write multiplied by k to the power 5. And we can erase this dot and just write it 9k to the power 5.
yes.
Thank you, my hero. Good work. Okay, guys, any problems?
No.
No, T.
Okay, now let's move to the next part. In the next part, we will evaluate the algebraic expression. What do we mean by evaluating algebraic expression? We mean that we use substitution and we find the numerical value of the expression. So the answer should be a number. Let's see an example for this.
Teacher, I
Yes?
didn't hear you well. What is the meaning, Master, of K and J and
These are variables. The letters are variables. Okay, let's see here in A. Evaluate k plus 10 when k equals 25. You should just substitute. So, we substitute k, and k is 25. So, remove the k and write 25. That's it. And we call this substitute. So, we call it substitute. So, we remove the k and put 25. So, 25 plus 10. K plus 10 is 25 plus 10. Now, let's find it. It's 35. Any problems? Let's do it one more time. Evaluate 4 times n, or 4n. When n equals 12, what should we do again? Substitute 12 for n. So just remove the n and write 12. So 4 times n is 4 times 12.
12.
And 4 times 12, just multiply them, you get 48. Okay, any problems? Okay, we need here also to know that we can write the product of 4 and n in several ways. One one way is writing 4 times n like this, and we can write it for n. This is very important. You can write it for n, just for n, without dots, without anything. And we can use brackets or these parentheses. We can write 4 and write n in the parentheses here. Okay, now let's go back to the book and let's solve these questions. رضا؟ رضا؟ سالم؟ سالم؟ ضياء؟ ضياء؟
Yes, teacher, I'm ضياء.
Okay, ضياء, go ahead.
Okay. Evaluate 24 plus C. Well, C is 9. So we'll remove C and we'll put 9.
Okay.
24 plus 9 equals 33.
Okay,
So the
thank you,
answer is
Moin.
33.
Good work. Okay. Abdullah Dokhi. Abdulaziz Zara.
Teacher, me can I answer after Abdulaziz?
I'm calling the names. Please mute your mic. Abdurrahman Safran.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, Abdurrahman. Go ahead.
Okay, teacher. So D minus 17, and D means D equal 13.
30.
Okay, we will minus it will be with teacher minus 10, then 7. It will be 13.
Okay, just tell me first, what should I write?
17.
Substitute. Remove the D and write 30. Just remove the D and write 30.
13 minus 17.
30 minus 17. And now we just subtract them. As you said,
13.
it's 13. Okay, thank you, Abdullah.
You're welcome, teacher. Abdurrahman.
Abdurrahman? Yes, thank you, Abdurrahman. Abdullah Majid? Abdullah Majid?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, Abdullah. Question number 8.
Evaluate 18, divide Q. Q is half. It will be 9.
Just tell me first.
18 divide half.
Yes, 18 divided by half.
Will be 9.
Okay, just a second. When you divide by a fraction, you should rewrite it as multiplication. So it's 18 multiplied by the reciprocal. What's the reciprocal?
2.
Okay, so it's 18 multiplied by 2. And what is 18 multiplied by 2?
It's 40.
No, 8 multiplied by 2 is 16. 6, and we have 1 here on the tens. 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So it's 63. So evaluate means find the numerical value of the expression when you have the value of the variable. Okay, now my heroes, I will send to you the link of the practice.
63.
Because I don't answer today. Tomorrow I will answer.
Of course, Fahd, inshallah. Guys, any problems?
Teacher.
I'm sorry, you said 63, but it is 36.
Sorry, it's 36. Okay, now I'll send to you the link. Okay, now for the solution, we need to identify the variable in this expression. So the variable here is the symbol, it's y. In this one, we need to identify the coefficient. The coefficient is the number multiplied by the variable. So it's the 6. And focus, it's not 6y. 6y is a term. It's a number times variable. But 6 is the number multiplied by the variable. So this is the coefficient. Any problems?
No, teacher.
How many terms? We have this first term 2y, the second is x, and the third is 4. So we have 3 terms. Identify the constant. The constant here is the number without the term, in which we find a number without variable. So it's the 12. The 2 is coefficient and the 5 is coefficient. Write the expression using exponent. We have 2 multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. T is repeated 5 times, so the correct choice is 2t raised to the power 5. And here 2t5 is wrong. Why? Because it's not exponent. The exponent here is this one. Okay, any problems? Evaluate the expression when m equals 8. Just substitute 8 for m. So 8 plus 5. 8 plus 5 equals 13. Any problems?
No.
No.
Evaluate a minus b. And here we have a equals 10 and b equals 6. So it's a minus b, it's 10 minus 6. And 10 minus 6 equals 4. Evaluate the expression when y equals 20. We have y plus 30 in the numerator, and in the denominator we have 5. So we need to substitute 20 for the y. So it's 20 plus 30 is 50. 50 divided by 5 equals 10. So the correct choice is 10. Okay, guys, any problems?
No.
Okay,
No, boy.
so this is the end of our session. See you tomorrow and goodbye.
Teacher,